The year is 2027 and the world is being gripped by an 18-year-long infertility crisis that threatens the human race. Gangs prey on the innocent while the elderly and desperate line up for government-sponsored euthanasia. The United Kingdom, being the only stable nation, is under a refugee crisis of people fleeing the chaos that has taken over around the world, and since has slipped into something reminiscent of Nazi Germany. Theo Cuarón, a former activist turned cynical bureaucrat, is kidnapped by the Fishers, an immigrants' rights group. They lead him to his ex-wife and their leader, Julian Taylor. Julian introduces him to Key, who they are trying to get to the Human Project, a scientific group aiming to cure infertility. Julian is killed in an ambush. Key reveals to Theo that she is pregnant. Theo finds out that the Fishers killed Julian and they plan to kill him. So they steal a car and make their way to Bexhill refugee camp, where they will be picked up offshore by the Human Project ship tomorrow. Despite being set in the future, director Alfonso Cuarón wanted the film to be the anti-Blade Runner, so no flying cars or wacky clothes. He wanted to focus on images reflecting the contemporary period. Cuarón said that while the film was futuristic, he deliberately planted the images firmly in 2006. I quote, "The whole idea was to bring the themes and subject matter that is crafting the first part of the 21st century globally, and bring those subjects to the microcosm of Britain. So he wanted the audience not to feel alienated from today." Children of Men is full of single-shot sequences. Cuarón uses them in just about all of his films. In Harry Potter, where Arthur Weasley warns Harry about prison escapee Sirius Black, that goes for 1 minute 51 seconds. Y tu mamá también, where the camera follows Louisa to the jukebox and back, that goes for 2 minutes and 6 seconds. In Children of Men, the longest scene is of Theo running through the Battle of Bexhill Camp, that goes for 6 minutes and 18 seconds. And most recently, the opening shot of Gravity, where chaos strikes while they're on a spacewalk, goes for a massive 12 minutes and 30 seconds. These single-shot sequences require perfect orchestration between actors, extras, explosions and gunfire. The car ambush alone took 12 days to get right, so why go to all the extra effort? They amplify the tension of the scene because the camera is never cutting away from the action. We see everything the characters in the car see. The audience is right there in the middle of the chaos. Being inside this small car with the 5 characters creates an added level of claustrophobia for the viewer. Everything is in real time as the characters experience it. The fluidness of these single sequences is vital to the documentary approach to the cinematography of the film. Cuarón stated that he wanted the film to look like you were just following the characters with your video camera in the year 2027. As you can see here, director Cuarón with camera in hand following Theo outside the cafe in London. Children of Men uses the sci-fi genre to safely comment on controversial issues of the contemporary world. Current issues such as the refugee crisis and terrorism, things that might be difficult or disturbing for an audience, are presented in a more acceptable, seemingly distant dystopian future. However unrealistic the images on screen may be, the underlying themes are still there. So what are these themes? Firstly, the whole film is centered around hope and faith. Hope for mankind depends on future generations. Key's baby is the hope for humankind's redemption. The final scene is a glimpse of hope, with the ship appearing out of the fog. Cuarón stated that he wanted the last scene to really be the start of the story. He wanted to make a film that, when the final credits roll, that's really the beginning of the film. I quote Cuarón, "We wanted the end to be a glimpse of a possibility of hope, for the audience to invest their own sense of hope into that ending. So if you're a hopeful person, you'll see a lot of hope, and if you're a bleak person, you'll see complete hopelessness at the end." Theo's attitude throughout the film goes from despair and completely giving up.
Even if they discovered the cure for infertility, it doesn't matter. Too late. World went to shit.
To hope for mankind, as seen by his determination to get Key to the Human Project. Secondly, themes of religion are plastered everywhere. Cuarón and cinematographer Emmanuel Lubezki began with the idea, I quote, "Not a single frame of this film can go by without making a comment about the state of things." So everything became a reference. The exercise was to transcend not only reality, but also to cross-reference within the film to the spiritual themes of the film. The terrorists that protect the rights of the refugees are called Fishers, which is, of course, the Greek symbol representing a fish, used by early Christians as a secret Christian symbol. Cuarón has stated that the title of the original book by Phyllis Dorothy James comes from Psalm 90 of the Bible. Thou turnest man to destruction, and sayest, Return, ye children of men. Theo and Key themselves can be likened to Joseph and Mary. Key's reveal of her pregnancy to Theo is reminiscent of a nativity scene. And appropriately, Theo's response is simply,
Jesus Christ.
Theo asks Key who the father is, and she jokingly states that she is a virgin. In the film, illegal immigrants are hunted down like cockroaches and rounded up in cages. This is particularly evident in the scene where they are on the refugee bus driving to Bexhill refugee camp. An elderly woman is seen detained in a cage, while the song Arbeit macht frei by the Libertines plays in the background. Arbeit macht frei, a German phrase meaning work makes you free, was placed over the entrances to a number of Nazi concentration camps, including Auschwitz. Visually, these locations share many similarities, the gates and the overhanging sign. There are other references to real-life events, including this shot. Cuarón stated that this part with the woman wailing, holding the body of her son in her arms, is in fact a reference to a real photograph taken during the Balkan War of a woman crying, holding the corpse of her son. He said it was very obvious that when the photographer captured that moment, he was referencing La Pietà, the Michelangelo sculpture of Mary holding the corpse of Jesus. La Pietà pops up a few times throughout the film. It is first mentioned by Theo's cousin Nigel at the Ark of Arts, while he stands in front of another of Michelangelo's works, David.
Couldn't save La Pietà. Smashed up before we got there.
Again at the Ark of Arts, behind Theo, we can see another depiction of a wailing woman holding the corpse of her child, this time in Picasso's Guernica. Alfonso Cuarón's use of immersive cinematography, genre, and contemporary themes in Children of Men makes for an eerily accurate statement on our present society. Despite being made a decade ago, the film continues to draw parallels with our world today.